You know how people say, you are what you drive? Well, if that's true, then Volkswagen drivers are a very specific breed. They're not flexing in a Lamborghini, and they're not hiding in a beige Toyota Corolla. No, VW drivers live somewhere in that strange, beautiful space between practical adult and quirky rebel. Today, let's break down the personality of someone who drives a Volkswagen. First of all, VW drivers give off this cool without trying too hard energy. It's a quiet confidence, a self-assuredness that doesn't need a flashy logo. Their car is an extension of their personality. They're not desperate for status symbols like BMW drivers. They appreciate substance over showmanship, knowing you don't need a car that screams "I've made it" to feel successful. But they're also not going full minimalist like the guy with the 20-year-old Honda Civic who insists it still runs. A VW driver appreciates practicality, but they also believe the journey should be enjoyed, not just endured. A VW driver is the kind of person who drinks craft beer, not because it's trendy, but because they actually like knowing the hops-to-barrel ratio. That same appreciation for detail extends to their car. They notice the satisfying thunk of the door and the thoughtful engineering. They care about design, they care about style, but they want it subtle. It's a preference for timeless principles over fleeting fads, for clean lines and quality materials. They like the idea of being European without actually moving to Europe. It's about embracing a philosophy of quality over quantity and enjoying a well-made thing. Forget horoscopes. If you really want to understand someone, look at the Volkswagen they drive. It's a rolling Rorschach test on 4 wheels. Here's where it gets fun, because the exact model you chose basically reveals your whole personality, whether you like it or not. Let's start with the VW Golf and its feisty sibling, the GTI. This is for people who want to go fast but still look responsible enough to get a promotion. You're secretly competitive, and you'll corner the host at a party to passionately argue about horsepower-to-weight ratios. You've spent hours on forums debating DSG versus manual, and you absolutely, unequivocally believe your car corner's better than everyone else's. It's not arrogance, it's just a fact, right? Next, the Jetta and Passat. You're practical. You probably made a spreadsheet comparing fuel efficiency and cargo space. You wanted German engineering and reliability, but you just couldn't bring yourself to be boring. You're the kind of person who listens to NPR on weekdays, nodding along to insightful commentary, but come Friday night, you're the first one on the dance floor when the EDM drops. Your car is clean, but your weekend playlist is pure chaos. Ah, the VW Beetle. You're artsy, playful, and unapologetically nostalgic. You see your car not just as transportation, but as a friend. And you've probably given it a name. You definitely own at least one vintage sweater, and your Spotify playlist has way too much Fleetwood Mac and the Smiths. You believe in good vibes, and that little built-in flower vase isn't just a gimmick. For you, it's a core feature. And finally, the classic VW bus. Congratulations! You're either a genuine free spirit who lives for road trips and can fix an engine with a paperclip, or you're trying very hard to cosplay as one for Instagram. Either way, people assume you own a ukulele and have strong opinions on kombucha. Your van is perpetually one breakdown away from becoming a roadside attraction, but you wouldn't trade the adventure or the aesthetic for anything. So, forget the cliches for a moment. When you look closer, beyond the stereotypes, a few core traits emerge that truly unite the diverse world of Volkswagen drivers. First, they appreciate things that are built to last. There's a quiet confidence that comes from German engineering, a sense that your car is a reliable partner with real history, not just a disposable appliance. They also value a unique sense of balance. A VW has to be practical enough for the daily grind, yet stylish enough to stand out without shouting. It's the automotive equivalent of a perfectly worn-in leather jacket, versatile, understated, and undeniably cool. And yes, they're definitely low-key nostalgic. Let's face it, the brand's entire DNA is coated with the spirit of the Beetle and the bus. These aren't just old cars, they're cultural icons whose legacy of freedom and adventure still shapes the vibe of every VW on the road today. Ultimately, it proves that VW drivers don't need the loudest or flashiest car on the block. They just need one with a little bit of soul. So, if you drive a VW, you're not just driving a car, you're driving a personality test on wheels. You're saying, I want reliability, but I also want people to know I have taste. And hey, whether you're rocking a GTI, a Beetle, or a camper van that hasn't had working AC since the 80s, at least you're not a Tesla driver explaining full self-driving to strangers who didn't ask. So, what do you think? Did I nail the VW personality, or did I just roast your entire identity? Let me know in the comments.